I've got a fun and exciting case study for you here today on a local cabinet maker's busiest December ever on record. And that's thanks to Google local service ads and the services that we provided here at Digital Harvest. So I want to go over in this video, of course, the result, what happened. I want to go over what was going on in this cabinet maker's world when they reached out to us looking for some help. I want to go over what we specifically did and put in place in order to achieve this result, and wrap up with some best practices and things that this client did really well in order to generate this result, because there are things required from both the agency side and the client side to be successful in any marketing related activity. So let's jump into it. What was the result? The result was pretty fantastic. Right here, we see only the most qualified leads that were generated for this account. A total ad spend of $615 to generate 18 really high quality leads. That comes out to about $34.17 per lead. What's not pictured here are the other 13 leads that were generated that were not charged, that were filtered out by Google's process, as well as some of the things that the client shared were not a great match for their services. So there's some dialing in that's required, but this is a fantastic result when you think about the average job being several $1,000s per cabinet, per countertop job. One lead can more than make up for the entire month's ad spend. And so this is during the slowest time of the year in December, this last 2025. So what was going on with this cabinet maker when they reached out? They had noticed that over the last few years, it seemed like, this is the word they use, it seemed like they were getting less and less phone calls from Google. In previous years, they just saw a great number of people coming through automatically, just because there's not a lot of competition where they are, and they have a pretty decent presence on Google. But over the years, it's been shrinking down and becoming less and less, and so they were reaching out wondering, what else can we do? We have tried Google Ads before with some limited success, but it's kind of complicated. We don't really know what we're doing when we set that up. And so what I shared with them in that initial discovery call when they reached out to us through Google and found us online was that we can make a difference for their December. We don't have to wait until January, February, March in order to get a result. We don't have to wait for search engine optimization to kick in and to fix some of the issues that I initially saw and found in the initial discovery. The short-term and the long-term solution in this case was to look at Google local service ads as one of the levers to pull on in order to drive a quicker result and make sure that we're not competing for price using something like Angie's List. Okay, so what we actually did was a couple of things. First thing is we installed call tracking on the website, on the Google business profile, and then in the local search. Because if you don't know where the calls are coming from, you have no idea what's actually happening in the marketing. And you have no idea to measure the success of what's occurring, and you have no idea of knowing what's normal versus what is just a feeling. So we put call tracking in place so that we could start to gather month over month and year over year data on what's actually working and moving the needle. The second thing that we did is we walked them through the Google local certification process. So in their case, it was very simple. They had all of the documentation ready to roll, and I believe we were verified in 3 to 4 business days. They passed the background checks, they passed the licensing, everything that they needed in order to show up on the platform. We helped them navigate and got things loaded up and verified very quickly. We, of course, did everything we need to do on the Google local service ads account. We optimized every field that we had. We put photos, we optimized the service area, the hours, everything we could possibly dial into. The last thing that we did is we set up some automation. And so at first it started with a review activation and looking at the past 90 days worth of customers, feeding them into the system and starting to generate more reviews so that they can better compete with their competition. All right, so that when they show up in a Google local service ads, they've got all the reviews, things look good, and they're not just struggling versus everybody else. So the result, as mentioned, busiest December ever. There's a couple of key points that went into this that made it such a great success. Number one, we coached the client and we were very adamant in sharing how important it is to answer their phone. Because with Google local service ads, your account has an invisible reputation score. So Google is looking at how well you answer the calls, that you answer the calls, and a bunch of other different factors. But the number one is, do you answer the phone? And so we were very, very adamant about how important that was. They prioritized answering the phone, even though it's been difficult to do that. And as you can see on my screen right now, they were showing up really high in Google local service ads results very quickly, partially because of competition, but also because they answer the phone, and a lot of the competitors struggle to do that. All right. The second thing that made this really successful was the customer understood what their average ticket was. They understood what their actual services are, what they will do and what they won't do, and we were able to optimize the account based off of their feedback. And so going in and being able to grade the leads, and also understanding that not everything is going to be a home run. Right? Every opportunity is an opportunity to put in an estimate, to get a bid out there. You won't win every bid, but when you know your numbers and you know that you will make thousands of dollars on a job, you understand that paying $34 to get a lead is a great deal. That even if you closed 1 out of 3 of them, paying $100 to get a $2,000 or a $4,000 job is a huge win. And so those are the two things that the client did really well. They understood their numbers before we ever started marketing. They knew what a win would look like before we ever went into it. We discussed that at length and in detail. And then secondly, they prioritized answering the phone and making that a priority, because you can generate the leads, but if you don't pick up the phone, not only will local service ads stop showing your ad, but you are missing money and literally flushing money down the toilet when you generate that lead and nobody's answering. That customer is gone. They're on to the next shop to see if they can get the job and the work done somewhere else. So if you are in the home services industry, or you are in construction like this particular business, reach out to us at Digital Harvest. Whether it's local service ads or something else, we are the trusted professionals on how to get the phone ringing, even during some of the slowest seasons of the year. So reach out to us, go to digitalharvest.io. You can also check the link in the description below this video. There's a couple things in there. A blog post that goes along with this video. There's a playlist that goes along with this that has all of our local service ads related content. And there's also a link on there to book a calendar with me, to book an appointment on the calendar with me in order to look at your business, find out what's working, what's not working, and propose a plan forward to help you get your business back on the map and growing faster than ever before. So with that being said, if you got questions, comments, put them in the comments below. Otherwise, we'll catch you on the next video. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching my video. If you like this one, you'll love some of the other videos we have posted here on our channel that help blue-collar business owners get more out of their digital marketing. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, check out the other videos. If you got questions or comments, post them below. I look forward to catching you on the next video. Bye for now.